Okay, pay attention.
Well, Bob wanted me to retell this story because he's in the alcohol business, serving business.
Bob is the bartender.
Hey, Bob! Thank you, Bob!
Who will also be sampling this fine maple syrup that somebody provided for the season.
We have no idea who that is.
Dad, whenever we visited Dad, he was very gracious and would always have what we always liked. So for instance, when Nancy and I would visit, Dad would always make sure we had Corona in the refrigerator. He would always make sure he'd have Nancy's favorite wine. Nancy is a wine snob.
Yes.
I'm glad I
We
admit
have
it.
probably visited 500 wineries since we've been together, no joke. Some wineries we visited, she has not even bought one bottle of wine because they don't know how to make wine. So she has her favorites, and Dad, she would bring her favorites to Dad's house. Dad finally one day said, no need to bring your wine, I'll have your wine for you. One occasion we visited, Dad said, got your Corona, go grab your beer in the fridge, Kevin. I got, Nancy, I got your wine. And Dad says, let me tell you the story about this wine. He says, I went down to the liquor store and talked to, what's his name? The kid I went to high school with owns the liquor store in town. He says, yeah, he says, my son Kevin and his wife Nancy are coming to visit. He says, I need some wine. Your favorite wine is the Merlot. I need some Merlot. Going to Dad, the liquor store owner kind of looked at him and kind of smiled a little bit and he goes, Harold, we have that, but it's called Merlot. Of course, Dad started out with his famous and infamous laugh. He was corrected. He corrected him and told Dad it was Merlot. The best part of the story is that he was gracious enough and honest enough to tell us this story. It was over Christmas, I think. And he actually told us that this had happened and he had made this faux pas. So that's where the Merlot story comes together.
That's the inside joke of it.
Now everyone knows.
And I can tell you, every single time, he really tries, every single time that we ever come and visit, or he knows that we're coming to visit, he always has something different. It's not just the same old run-of-the-mill. He really tries to find. So I'm thinking that he goes down to his friend and he says, okay, we had this last time, give me something better, because it's always spectacular.
Well, good. I'm glad you like it.
Thank you so much. I love you, Bubba. Awesome.
Jay and Joe are here, who are flying buddies of Hal's. I bet you have a few good stories you could tell. Anything come to mind?
Well, we were just talking about this, but I got to tell the story where Hal took the airport manager for his first glider ride.
Oh.
Wow. Yes, how did that go?
Was it a good ride? Well, no, the airport manager's first time in a glider. You know, and you know, this guy was a little suspect of us anyway, because we're all over the airport, and he's got jets landing and power planes, and we're out there dragging gliders up. So he did. Hal had an empty seat in the trainer glider, and decided, well, I asked him if he wanted to come along, and he did. And Hal took him up, and he let him fly it, and he's flying around. They're having a great time, and then Hal notices, uh-oh, we're downwind from the airport, and we can't make it back. So I guess.
Oh, that story.
Yeah, so I guess they were a little bit worried, and Hal did a great job, and he went down and flew over the golf course, found a little field on the golf course, next to the golf course, and came down low over the trees and slipped it in and landed in like 100 feet. Saved the glider, saved the airport manager, and And the airport manager, like the first car that came by, the airport manager asked if he could get a ride back to the airport. left Hal sitting there.
Yeah, right.
Left Hal sitting there under an apple tree. We came and retrieved him a little later. But not many people could do that. That was.
Good job.
I've heard that story.
Yeah, that's
But
a
I
good
just,
story.
I'd forgotten that the airport manager was in the plane. I didn't even know.
Yeah. First ride.
I don't think he ever told me that, you know, he had to land in 100 feet, or
Yeah.
whatever it was. I mean, obviously it was pretty,
It was right next to the college, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Colgate?
Yeah, Colgate.
Right, Colgate property is adjacent to the garage.
I have a copy of the Colgate periodical the week later. Has a picture of you in there, standing next to a beach plane.
Dad and I went driving around there to try to find the spot where he landed.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't think we found it.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell Jay and his rescue crew found me because, you know, we've been back there a couple of times trying to find the exact spot.
Just kept driving around and around the golf course.
Yeah, we had to get the plane back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
How did you actually just take it
Yeah, it
apart?
comes apart. The wings come off. Yeah, we had a trailer.
Joe, does Joe have anything that he would like to say? Good, bad, or otherwise?
Oh boy, here we go.
It was a good day. Hal, I don't remember, he had cataract surgery, do you remember? And I've always flown with Hal, he's always wearing glasses. So he says to me, you wanna take a ride? I said, sure, I get a plane. I said, well, where are your glasses? He said, I don't need them anymore. I said, really? He said, yeah, I got cataracts, I see perfectly well. I said, okay. So we get off, being towed off the runway, and he's getting up there, and he's following the tow plane perfectly. So he says to me, take over. I said, no, Hal, you're doing a good job. He says, take over. I said, Hal, you're doing a great job. God damn it, I got a cramp in my leg, I can't use the right
I figured all about that.
That's right.
that's exactly how he would have said that.
Exactly.
Yep.
You got that down, Joe. Nice job.
He tells all the great jokes to Dad.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. So it's funny that about the flying and stuff like that. It was when we went to Florida and we lived in Florida. One of my birthday presents, because I always told Kevin I want to fly. And he was just like, really? You want to take flying lessons? I went, yes, I want to so bad. So took a couple lessons. I did really good actually. Kevin sat in the back. Good for him. Anyway, and I loved it so much. And we came back to New York and we told Hal, and Hal was so gracious. He had made this thing that he kept all of his stuff in, like
I give you my flight bag.
yeah, he did, and I was so proud of that. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. I still want to keep going with my lessons. It's been a little bit of time, but I still want to keep going. But he makes me so proud that I'm just like, oh my God, thank you for giving me this thing that is just, it means so much to you. So I just want to say thank you so much.
No, you're welcome.
All right. While we're waiting for dessert, Kenny said he would like to
Kenny.
share his little.
Okay.
Hold your breath.
There you go.
Different point of view from your grandson. We grew up in Florida, us three boys,
we traveled to New York to see Grandpa and Grandma. It wasn't the huge house with 100 rooms and a scary attic and a mile-long staircase, excuse me, or the huge yard that had a pond on one end, it was a huge pond, or the haunted woodland trail at the other. It wasn't the mountain to snow tube down. With, we would always climb up the mountain, snow tube down. I don't know how you guys let us do that. Or the unlimited grapes that are always available to eat. It was, after all that, it was Grandpa's train set that made the trip for me. The love, the interest, and the care that you had in your train set sat atop a fully functioning pool table that made me love you. We could have used that pool table. We could have played pool all day, but you had that train set up. You let us play with it. You let us have fun with it without any fear of damaging it, without ruining it, without derailments and fires. It was what makes me love you, Grandpa. Lost my train of thought.
Train. Your tractor trailer of thought.
And it was set up for years. And as we got older, all of our interests have changed, but Grandpa never forgot my love for that train set. And then one day I came downstairs and the pool table was open. There was airplanes up in the ceiling, airplanes set up, on the pool table, and we could play with the pool table. And then he offered the train set to me, and that was probably the biggest, most important gift that anyone's ever given me, was his train set. That was one thing that was very important to me. And I wanted to have it set up in my yard, or in my basement, and I have a picture of it, in my basement, in your book. It wasn't as elaborate and as fun as yours, but one day I want to pass it down. And I just want to say thanks, Grandpa, for my memory of growing up in your huge scary house, in your basement with a million corridors. That's what I have.
Thank you, Ken.
Kenny has a big train tattoo because that is the most.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shall we see it?
Kenny.
Show it. Show it. Show it.
Over here. Over here.
All right. Wait a second. Wait. Wait, up back up.
Come on. What is it?
Train engine.
The train engine.
Here's the number 3, first 3 brothers on the
Is there a woman
light.
tied to the train track?
It says Casey Jones on it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Okay, Paul. Paul, you need to set this up for yourself.
You can videotape you, Paul?
Hey, let me see.
That way.
Okay, now Paul, as soon as we're done with the disrobing.
The disrobing.
Well, that's quite
I would never do it for drinking. Never drink again?
Show them the caboose.
Not the caboose.
Yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now it's Paul's turn.
Oh, boy.
Wait.
Ryan, he had a name that
Oh,
You can do both, it doesn't matter.
some of each.
Halfway through.
no, let's put it back on Dad. Come on.
I know we told a few car stories, but I got another one.
There's always another card story.
Yeah, this is one of my most memorable experiences with my father. Happened when I was in high school, and our family car, station wagon,
was in the driveway, and Dad said, well, there's gas leaking onto the driveway. So we figured out the gas tank had a leak. So always looking for a new challenge, my father said, well, no need to buy a new one, let's just fix it. So he comes up to me, he goes, Paul, I got a project for you I need your help with. Naturally, I jumped at the opportunity, as I always did. So we both slid under the car. After a short time, figured out how to take off that bracket and take off the gauge and get that tank out of there. So we brought it over to the grass, and we knew, my father's idea was this, we're gonna fix this with a blowtorch. We're gonna solder the hole in that tank.
Gas
So, it's important, very important, Paul, we get the gas out of the tank first.
Wow.
So, dump the tank out, but the fumes in that tank were so overwhelming. So we got the garden hose and filled the tank with water, dumped it out, filled it again, dumped it out, several times. We got most of the fumes out, but you could still smell some gas in there. So Dad says, look, I think there's enough out of there that there shouldn't be a problem. We shouldn't have a problem. So Dad lights up the torch. He says, Paul, hold on to the tank. Hold it steady so I get the solder right in the right spot. Things were going along quite smoothly when, without warning, apparently the fumes in the tank ignited, causing the tank to explode with a heart-stopping kaboom. Echoed across the valley, knocking both of us on our backs. Upon regaining our senses,
Consciousness.
finding no obvious missing limbs or shrapnel wounds, we lay down on the lawn and we just laughed for the longest time. While also thanking God we both hadn't been killed.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
That's
you
killed a lot
laughed
of people,
about it.
that same mistake.
So later, with the thoroughness of an NTSB accident investigator, Dad analyzed what had just happened and what had just gone terribly wrong. He theorized that the explosion never would have happened had we simply left enough water in the tank to displace the fumes.
That's so great. It just works.
Maybe, Joe, the scientist, can weigh in on this, but for better or worse, we never had the opportunity to test the theory because the gas tank was torn apart at the seams, was beyond repair. Much to my father's disappointment, he was left with no recourse but to buy another gas tank. But he got to use one at a junkyard. And I believe the installation of that tank went much smoother. And I think it's because there was no propane torch or gas involved.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember much about the installation at all. So, thank you, Dad.
Let me tell you how that story really went.
There's Leah going crazy. Yeah, Leah's going on a run.
Sorry. There are a couple of more pieces. Dad, we have put these all in a little book for you. You get to take this home with you, if you want it. There are several other pieces in here that people have written. Would anyone else like to come and read anything or share anything that they have written? They don't have to read the whole thing. Or does anyone have something spontaneous?
Eric's here.
Eric's here! Dad, right behind you. Somebody else is here, Dad.
Hello, everyone. Oh, happy birthday.
Snuck up on
Thank you.
I hear Bob might have a story. Bob, can we ask you to tell your story?
Yeah.
senator, I didn't know he had to have a story about our.
Wow. Just want to know what a pleasure it is to do this party for you and everything. And while you were all eating dinner, I wrote a little poem for you. Hal really loved his boat as long as it continued to float. If he was at Sand Island and the weather got a little hairy, he would zoom on back to Canajoharie. As the weather started to clear, he would think about having a cold beer. He would settle in for a good night's sleep, as long as that darn smoke detector didn't continue to beep. Congratulations and happy birthday, Hal. I'm sure if I knew you, you would have been my pal.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Happy
I
birthday.
understand you both spent time in Sakadaga. That's the connection. Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Since Eric is here, Eric and all of us sent, a bunch of us sent photographs to Eric to put together a piece. Do you need to catch your breath or are you ready to roll?